Kapil, welcome to the Commerce Talks podcast. Today we're going to talk about GMG, a very interesting company from the GCC region. Please tell us about yourself and GMG.
First of all, good evening, Alexander. Pleasure to meet you. My name is Kapil Sethi. I am the Deputy Chief Officer of GMG. I've been with the group for almost 10 years now into various roles. Started my career in finance, moved to CFO level, have been a COO, and now the co-CEO for the group. I've been in this region for quite a long time, and I have been working with GMG to expand its horizon from a GCC to a much wider global base. So we have expanded ourselves in Southeast Asia as well as in North Africa. In addition, under my leadership, I have strived to introduce innovative tools, processes, as well as partners which are now benefiting in terms of our GMG growth. GMG is a global well-being company. We have been in this region for the last 4 decades. We operate mainly through 5 verticals, which is GMG Sports, GMG Health, GMG Food, GMG Consumer Goods, and GMG Ventures. We are expanding our horizon. As I said earlier, we operate in more than 12 countries across our verticals and continuously looking for growth.
So you have built, or GMG's built a company where other companies in Europe or US would have needed many more decades for. Based on your website information, it's 8,500 employees already operating 12 brands. Can you tell us a bit how is it done? Is it international brands you're bringing to the region and then reselling? So rather kind of a wholesale distributing business. Do you own your own brands in these different divisions? So what is it mainly the core concept for the business model?
GMG works across 5 main divisions. So GMG Sports. Under GMG Sports, we inspire and empower the consumers through high-quality sports gear, working with a lot of international brands. We've actually introduced more than 120 international brands in this part of the world and continuing to expand the brand portfolio. Under GMG Food division, we have a food manufacturing, which adds value to the UAE's economy by producing locally and supplying its consumer the fresh and nutrition products across. Through the GMG Consumer Goods division, we not only distribute number of international brands, but also are now the main franchisee for Giant in this region. And we are expanding that portfolio, basically reaching directly to the consumer. Under GMG Health, we provide a holistic view or approach to supporting the consumer from their well-being in terms of the nutrition, pharma, vitamins, as well as supplements. Under GMG Ventures, the company operates under homegrown brands, which is education, outdoor living, logistics, as well as real estate. So GMG is working across these verticals to expand its horizon.
Okay, let's focus on the sports brands a bit, just to better understand your approach. I guess you're selling them in a retail brick and mortar environment and e-commerce. Can you tell us about those channels and how important they are? Is it just your channels, so retail stores you own and operate? Or do you operate in a wholesale models where you give those brands to other local retailers? And what role is e-commerce playing in that sense?
GMG Sports has been one of the key verticals and one of the oldest verticals over the last 4 decades. We have expanded that globally. We operate across all channels, so we are in both in brick and mortar presence as well as e-com presence. Actually, we are one of the leaders in terms of omnichannel. So we are integrating both the .com as well as the brick and mortar presence and bringing that experience back to the consumer. We operate, as I said, more than 120 international brands across our key 12 territories, which spans from MENA, including GCC, North Africa, as well as Southeast Asia. And we deliver the same consistent consumer experience from a brick and mortar perspective to .com perspective by bringing that omni-channel alignment in between.
In European and US, in the US, we see already 20-25% market share for e-commerce when it comes to sports goods, for example. And this market share is growing very, very fast because of Nike's direct-to-consumer initiatives. So some Nike products you can only buy at Nike, not even in the stores, but only through online channels. So do you know what the number is for the adoption rate for sports good online in the regions where you are operating?
.com is growing significantly over year on year. GMG has actually shown a considerable growth of .com share in its own business. To be honest, since by the time we closed 2021, we had actually crossed all our last 5-year growth, and 2022 is showing the same trend. If I look at the .com market, UAE and KSA are the leaders from a GCC perspective. What we have seen is the overall market is looking around $11.4 billion approximately for 2022. And we expect that the average shopping being done by KSA customer is more than around $350 as a transaction. This is based on a report shared by Statista. The report further states that the user penetration will grow from 61% in 2022 to hit almost 70.9% in 2025. Both KSA and UAE are leading these stats in terms of this part of the world. If you move towards Southeast Asia, I think they are much more developed economies and there's a much bigger market in terms of what GMG is looking at. Asia offers an immense potential for GMG. It has a market capacity of almost 10 trillion growth potential as stated by McKinsey and Company, and .com share is increasing year on year. So it provides you a much bigger opportunity to be able to tap that market.
So from the 5 divisions you have mentioned, like 3 divisions, sports, health, consumer good, are more or less in the lifestyle sector. So it's stuff you would like to buy, but you don't need to survive. And right now we see in the regions where we have a lot of like inflation and recession issues that consumers are focusing now obviously on the sectors they are dependent on, which is usually food, and in Europe especially like energy costs are rising, though they're spending more money on gas, less on fashion, so to say. What is like the general trend you're seeing right now in your region? Do you see like the same adaptation speed and the same growth and even in those divisions, or you also see already people are shifting away from lifestyle goods?
GMG has been a growth company, and what we are seeing is that almost all verticals are actually showing significant amount of growth. People are becoming much more health conscious. They are towards well-being, and GMG through its verticals, whether it's food, sports, health, is able to provide that well-being experience back to the consumer. Especially on food, we are seeing a lot of opportunity and a lot of investments. We ourselves have launched our sustainability agenda of Make a Difference in terms of sustainability framework, which is already aligned with the UN's Sustainable Development Growth as well as UAE own sustainability growth. Very recently, we tied up with Dubai Economy of Tourism and launched a water station in Al Qudra. In terms of our GMG food capacity, we have invested in number of manufacturing facilities, and we recently last month only launched our second largest Himalayan pink salt factory in the region. This provides us the capacity in terms of, if you look at just at that facility, it has a capacity of 70,000 metric tons and can produce almost 200,000 kilos of Himalayan pink salt on a daily basis, which is providing us the opportunity to go much beyond not just Southeast Asia or UAE, but we are actually targeting more than 160 countries. So if I look at the food division, then I add on to our consumer good division, wherein very recently we got the master franchise for Jian. We are expanding that significantly in this part of the world, which clearly demonstrate that if I look from a health, food and consumer division vertical, there is a significant push towards direct to consumer and the customers are spending a lot on that. But if I look at health and sports, I think there is growth happening across the globe. And you look at any big player in lifestyle, in fashion and in athletic leisure, they are growing. So there is a considerable amount of opportunity in this part of the world.
And obviously, you've said that the group and the whole concept grew with like bringing international brands into the regions and start operating them. Do you see the capacity and the capability of the region to create own strong brands that then will be brought into other regions, like turning it around somehow? I don't know what like the production capacities in the regions you've just mentioned, UAE, KSA are structured like, but I think. I don't know. I don't know KSA based fashion brand or UAE based fashion brand, for example, or food brand, which I regularly buy in my supermarket. But I think that's actually where the market is headed, right?
Yeah, I will resonate this to our number of our homegrown concepts, and I will take sports as an example. Sun & Sand Sport has been one of the leaders in your performance and lifestyle over the years in the last couple of decades. And very recently, we launched the Sun & Sand 3.0 strategy, which is primarily targeting Gen Z. Gen Zs are are the future. You're talking about more than 100 billion population of Gen Zs coming in the world, and they are very, very very, very knowledgeable in terms of the product and looking for the experience. So we launched the Sun and Sand 3.0 scheme in this part of the world, especially taking into consideration the needs and the requirements of Gen Zs. And we are looking at a theme of fun to finish, which means encouraging young people to have fun and have sports. And we believe that this concept can be taken across the globe, not just in UAE or KSA or Egypt or North Africa, but also wider part of the world, including Southeast Asia. Similarly, when we look at our food capabilities, when we are looking at our manufacturing capacities, we are coming out with 8 manufacturing facilities, and we are looking at manufacturing not only, as I said, which we just launched in the Himalayan pink salt, but also in other streams, whether it's proteins, whether it's seafood, whether it's cold cuts, and something which is for the entire globe to be consumed. So I think there's a big opportunity in hand to be able to support that businesses.
Just going back to the Himalayan pink salt, what is it exactly? Is it like in salt and pepper? Is it stuff like, what is it, the product?
So the pink salt, if you go into the market, there are various shapes and forms. So you have granules, you have got powder. It's pure salt. It's much more healthier, and it provides an alternative to your regular salt. And
okay.
with people becoming more health conscious and moving in terms of the transition from a well-being, I think it provides a much better impetus to be able to provide that kind of a product back to the consumer, which only helps them and assists them in terms of their well-being.
Now I see it. I just Googled it. Okay. And have you experimenting already about this exporting pink salt? Or are you selling, I don't know, it via Amazon in the US, or are you just starting?
We just started, but our plans are to grow global, and we are already looking at expanding the horizon of our sales across the globe. We are actually targeting more than 160 countries, and we are already working along with a lot of partners at very advanced stages to see how we can bring this high quality product across the globe, and which is the consumer is hungry for.
Interesting. So going back to this expansion strategy, you said like the .com/e-commerce channel is obviously growing and growing, and especially if like Gen Z is one of your target groups in some of the verticals, especially sport, that is most likely the channel you can reach those customers. So can you share a bit like how do you manage it? Do you have like a big IT team doing all the e-commerce concepts, or do you hire agencies doing it? Because just to share where I'm coming from, for all the companies that are successful in selling things via online channels, build it internally because they differentiated how they are selling. They're not differentiating anymore what they are selling. It's all about the how. So getting in people more and more capable with the e-commerce task, with the customer loyalty task, and all the other things around such an experience, the customer journey is more and more important. So from this 8,500 people that's just the number I see on the website, how many are working on this e-commerce path?
So e-commerce approach is different based on our verticals. So we actually were one of the few first ones to launch our .com presence for our sports division, especially Sun and Sand Sports. Yeah. So when we look at our sports division, we already have a well-established .com presence in this part of the world, and we are expanding it now to Southeast Asia and wider Africa. When we look at other verticals, which are more towards health and food, we are continuing to invest and working along with aggregators. Just for example, in case of fashion and retail, if you look at our .com presence, we are able to deliver back to the consumer the products within 24 hours to 48 hours. But now if you look at your consumer goods and your health, people expectations are that they need the delivery happening in next 2 to 3 hours or the same day. So we are working along with our different partners like InstaShop and all to be able to make that delivery happen. We continuously keep on looking at right investments. Another example would be how the fitness industry is growing in the MENA region. Today, if you look at the fitness industry, especially from sports, there's an expectation of 19% CAGR growth in this part of the world. Now, that's a significant growth which we still have to tap on. And by providing .com platform, wherein customer gets a right consumer experience by moving and is able to get the omnichannel part, wherein it gets the product, gets the delivery on time, is what we strive for. So we have been continuously investing in tools, technology, whether using AI, machine-enabled processes and tools to be able to deliver that consumer journey back to them. And I think that's been one of the key things.
And have you built online focused warehouses then? Because you've said like 2-3 hour delivery, that's super hard to do on the standard B2B warehouse. So that's actually why the specialized companies are building like highly automated warehouses, pretty much located in central areas, so they can deliver within a couple of hours, or at least like next morning. Has GMG invested in such a warehouse infrastructure?
So GMG, through its GMG Ventures, has been very focused and investing a lot on their logistic capabilities. We are a very unique company in terms of, if I look at our verticals, we are able to deliver a pair of socks, full fitness equipment gym, shoebox, a controlled medicine, a farm fresh product, protein, frozen products. So I think as we have developed logistic capabilities across our 12 operating countries, which are able to deliver this product at the right time, the right quality to the consumer. These facilities are very automated and provides that experience back by ensuring that the quality product is delivered to the consumer at the right time.
But is this special warehouses? Is this like a new infrastructure, or are you using your B2B wholesale warehouses?
So we have developed our warehouses over the years, and these are warehouses which cater not only to the B2B, but also to B2C. So our warehouses are able to cater to all the channels across the board.
And you've said you're trying to deliver an market leading experience on the sports platform, because you started with sports first. Therefore, it's pretty far developed already. So is it like you're selling then under one platform? Is it like, or you're running like one domain, one website for every brand?
SunandSandSports.com is one of the key leaders in terms of sports vertical. What we have seen is the consumer shopping habits are changing day by day. So by providing, for example, customer wants instant gratification. So we are introducing a lot of, let's say, delivery options, as well as gift vouchers, online discount schemes, discount parameters, where we are able to entice customers. In addition, we are also able to provide the customer the right consumer journey by introducing the right products with the right experience in terms of that product portfolio, and ensuring that the delivery happens. It's very important that the conversions takes place. It's very important to keep in mind that the lower funnel is as important as the higher funnel. We aim to do that by redesigning our sales engineering optimization tools, by bringing in the CRM tools in place, and ensuring that this goes back to the consumer. Very recently, we updated and enhanced our mobile app. Now that is again bringing back that experience back to the consumer. So we are continuously investing, ensuring that the customer shopping habits are taken care of and the experiences are improved.
So looking like into 2023, because we are almost like achieving the end of 2022 and the end of this podcast. So it's going to be the last question. Looking into 2023. So what is like the next big thing, especially on the e-commerce part, you're looking forward? Adding a new division, adding a new specialized team, adding new brands. So what would it be?
Both augmented reality and virtual reality is the next evolution in online shopping. And we can see actually everywhere where people want access to virtual try-ons, and they want to be connected well throughout, whether it's your mobile app or your online app. Chatbot technology is something which we are seeing a lot of evolution, and we're seeing a growth in the volume of voice searches. As I said earlier also, Gen Zs are taking over the millennials. They actually account for more than 32% of the global population. And they actually command, because they have more than 100 billion in terms of how they are growing. And they are well connected, very knowledgeable. So the brands need to provide that experience and the products and the technologies to be able to influence them. In addition to that, we believe that mobile shopping is the near future. So we need to keep on enhancing the mobile experience back to the consumer. Customers have found many ways to be able to be well aware of the product. So if you are able to get that across to them in the right way, that's how it works. A very important, exciting development which I see and I believe is going to influence is the social e-commerce. Social e-commerce is expanding significantly year on year. If you look at the 2021 data, if I look at China, it's almost 300 billion plus of transactions in US dollars was done just in social commerce in China. If I look at US, again, a bigger market, almost 52 billion plus transaction was done in USA in 2022. which clearly demonstrates that social commerce is going to be the trend. And we need to be working along with partners who can deliver that kind of social commerce platform back to the consumer and keep on investing along with them to ensure that ultimately the customer gets what they want and we keep on evolving along with them.
Very cool to hear, and definitely worth of exploring a bit further within our next podcast. Maybe going to see you in the next days in KSA, and thank you for your time.